Welcome to the Before Tacky podcast. For this episode, I'm here with actress Eugenia Kuzmina and fashion designer Mira von der Ostern. I hope I got that right, Mary. We're talking about a very special dress, the one Eugenia wore for the Cannes Film Festival red carpet, designed by Mira at CRUBA here in Berlin. Let's get started, okay? So Mira, the first question is for you. What was the inspiration for the dress?
The inspiration for the dress was Cannes and Eugenia. It was the idea to work with VCR tape. We had here in our studio experimented with weaving, knitting, and crocheting VCR tape. That means the old video cassette tape. It's this thin mylar tape that if you knit it carefully, you can make it into a 3D shape. And when we see Eugenia moving in her Instagram movies so gently, so gracefully, we thought we could literally basically create an entire dress out of the VCR knitting. And what we did is we used different techniques in the knitting, so to create a lot of movement in the dress. And we came up with the idea of knitting VCR due to the fact that my godfather had a library of video cassettes, and one day realized that his library is of old, of old technique, and he couldn't see his movies anymore. So he called me up and said, do you have any idea what I can do with all these videos? And I said, well, if you want, you can send them to me and we can think of some window display. And I thought of stacking the cassettes in the background for a window display in our shop here in Berlin. But then when the cassettes arrived here in the boxes, it was very touching, because he literally had very good movies, because it was a very loved library. So we thought it made a lot of sense to dress someone who's in the film business with some technique of weaving it up. And as we were playing, these tapes rolled out, and like we were playing around, and we realized it's quite durable material, and you can bring it to use. And when you put it, when the light shines on it, it is quite glamorous. So this is when the idea arose to find an actress to maybe wear it in an occasion like a red carpet. And so this was a while that we played with this, and we did previously, we knitted up a top and we knitted up different pieces. But then when we were thinking about Cannes, and Greg, you introduced us to Eugenia, we thought it would be really nice to have an entire dress made of it. And this is what's the story of the dress that we created, really.
Mira, I have a question actually, because everybody was asking me what exactly is on the film. Like, which films do you know were part?
Yes, we used we used Jim Jarmusch.
Oh gosh, I love him. Johnny Depp was like opening ceremony. I went to that, and like literally I did a photo shoot of like, the photographer did a shoot of him, and then he came to my room and we were trying to burn the picture that he shot of him. So it was like all interconnected. So I love Jim Jarmusch. I love him. He's so talented.
Yeah, it was Down by Law, which is basically the most favorite movie of my husband. So we started, we used that. And then the other movie we used is Taxi Driver from Martin Scorsese. So those were, and it's interesting because literally it was only 2 movies that we used to knit the dress. It's extremely long lasting. The tape.
I think Martin has to know this story, and I will make sure to pass it along. And sorry, guys, my dog has to be part of this podcast because he
very cute. What's his name or her name?
His name is Logan, and he like refuses to look in the camera.
Oh, he's cute. Oh.
Oh, it's down by law. I didn't know that. Oh yeah, you did tell me it was Jim Dummer's film. Eugenia, what was your reaction when you first saw the dress in Cannes?
Oh my God. Well, when Rachel showed up at my door, and then it took her, like 4 hours to kind of adjust the dress specifically for my body. Like, I was like, can I get you anything, a food or anything? And she was just working nonstop. And to understand that level of skill and couture and what goes into it, I mean, it was very shocking because these days everything is so like constant gratification. You can do everything really fast. It's not reusable. It's not recyclable. I try to make sure that fashion like supports the environmental issues and things like that. I mean, for me, just the skill of it was incredible. And the fact that it was Scorsese movie that day, like it meant a lot, to just do the carpet. And, there was a lot of drama involved into making sure that the carpet was like done. I had to involve a lot of players and call the director of the festival to make sure that we walk it. But I think it's definitely very memorable. I was stopped like every step of the way, I just had to get like guards to like not, kind of overshoot it all over the place. But I think it definitely created a reaction. And I think it's fantastic because subconsciously, it is all about film and not just, it's all about like, the real thing, what's inside, and like how much we appreciate real storytelling and not just instant gratification with social media.
Okay, well, let me ask you, Mira, because this was your first big red carpet. Were you nervous about making a dress like that? That was a bit non-traditional red carpet for Cannes, especially the biggest film festival in the world.
Oh, of course. Yeah, no, we were nervous. I mean, I was not nervous about making the dress. I mean, but of course, I was nervous about everything else. But no, I was the dress. I mean, when we had it here in the studio, I could see that it has a presence that it has a lot of presence. And when the light, I mean, even in our studio where there were no spotlights, no red carpet, it really looked like something. So that, I mean, of course, I was nervous about every detail. Like, like Eugenia said, is it fitting? Is it gonna be lasting? Is there gonna be a problem? And everything surrounding the red carpet. And I mean, you briefed me quite well, Breck. Thank you again at this point, but there were many things because we hadn't done a red carpet that we didn't know, that we learned. And that's, of course, I was super, super nervous.
I'm so excited to support you and like your creation, because I think we need more original artists, and it's so rare as well. Like, it's so easy to copy and Photoshop things these days, including photography and fashion. I don't think there's a lot of like copyright to things. And I think this dress absolutely belongs to like a museum and, has to be copyrighted right away.
I mean, this was something that made me really pull through the fact that I was really surprised to see how how little number one, independent design is shown, how little sustainability is shown on the red carpet, that mostly it's business as usual, and it is a chance to make a statement. And so I mean, I'm super happy that you were willing to work the dress, and you did it so beautiful. And that was the reason why we also like came up with the idea of the clutch out of the videotape, because we thought otherwise it just comes across as a shiny dress, but no one understands what's the significance of it. and that it is actually made out of film. And so that was really great that you really made sure to put this, to have it and put it in the camera. That was fantastic. So thank you so much for everything, Regina.
Of course, it was really funny because there was an after party after Amphar as well. And usually Leo, he does it at this like Great Gatsby type of place. And when you arrive there, they have all these live candles. And I was so concerned that like I'm going to go candles and put like, you know, put it on fire. Because that happened to me last year with another dress. And I was like, not with this one.
I mean, it is super funny because I mean, this material, someone here in Germany told us that like that VCR tape is apparently used in movies as a sound to create wind, the sound of wind.
Oh my God, how fascinating. I never knew that. Thanks for educating.
So it does come to some use, but mostly it's in people's basement, and people don't, like my godfather, don't know what to do with it, and are, you know, very emotionally attached to it. It's very interesting.
So we saw the.
Yeah, sorry. I think everything has to have a story, and like I love the stories behind things.
Yes, I agree. Makes everything more valuable.
This is very true. I mean, was the reaction in Cannes, like I said, I guess people were looking at you a lot, Eugenia. So I saw there were a lot of pictures taken.
Yeah, I almost got arrested. But you know the drama, right? So what happened actually is like Cannes this year, it's so protocoled, and you know, you have to make sure that you have a festival car. There's a lot of police, and like, you know, I arrived at Scorsese Film, and right away when I came out, like it was a huge reaction. Plus it was raining that day. You know, so people like stopped me. I had to like pull in the car really fast. And then when I came out, I didn't bring my printed ticket. It's a really funny story because now everything is digital, right? So to get the car, like the official car, you have to scan the ticket. So they scanned my ticket. I go to the carpet, and the police stops me because the dress got so much attention, and they're like, "We need your printed ticket." And I'm like, "Sorry, I forgot it." And you know, I couldn't even stay for the actual film. Like, apologies to Scorsese because my friend husband produced it, and I'm sure he's like an amazing filmmaker, and I can't wait to watch the film. But because I didn't have time, I was like, I'm just gonna work the carpet. I don't even need the ticket. Like, you know, I'm not like trying to crush the carpet with this dress. But the police was so, you know, it's like when something gets so much attention, it kind of is too much for this universe. So we started fighting, and I had to come back to another carpet just to walk it. I have to call the president of the whole Cannes Festival and say like, hey, you know what, the police is like a little bit trying too hard this year, and they're not making it easy for filmmakers or people who actually like, you know, invested into that. I mean, the fact that you flew the dress, the assistant came, and then you were supposed to send the assistant the second time, and I'm like, had to go to the atelier and to fix it right again. It was a lot of drama, but I think it's worth it. You know, we definitely got a lot of press for that, and I think, you know, Martin will know about it very soon.
Oh, and shout out to our shoe guy, freelance. What was it? Freelance shoe company from Paris, Freelance Paris. Shout out to them. We got to say thank you for loaning us the shoes. Make sure there's a little product placement there. But yeah, there was and a shout out to the atelier in Cannes too for helping us out.
Yeah, thank you. That lady was so amazing and so sweet. Just, you know, like last minute again.
Oh, fantastic.
I drove her crazy. We drove her crazy. But hey, it's Cannes, you know, they're used to it. So wait, but VCR tape, the material is durable, right? Mira is very durable. You can use it again.
Yes, it is. I mean, of course, if it is in a dress like that, it's like Eugenia was saying, it's very lavish. So you have to really watch out that people, because it's knitted, you have to watch out that people don't like pull on it or something. But the material itself, we've done t-shirts with it. We've done tops, and we even machine washed them. So yes, it is durable, but of course it looks the most amazing when it's really little touched. and then it when you treat it, when you wash it, it crinkles up a little bit, but it's very durable. It's very good, old, thin, super high quality. I don't want to say the word, but it is plastic. Or might say.
But we reused it.
Yes, absolutely. It is the same. It is. I think it is what my saying is. It's a very liable replacement for sequins, which is something we should really in our trade not use anymore. But it has, of course, a wonderful effect when it plays with the light. And when I look at the knitted up VCR tape, it really reminds me of a sequins in the best of all ways. So we sell it really sewn onto t-shirts. The only thing one cannot do with the VCR tape is sew it by machine, then it breaks. But everything else is, as long as you don't touch the tape, but you kind of work with it respectfully, it's very durable. You can absolutely wear it. I think Eugenia probably knows.
It's very comfortable. It's very breathable, very comfortable, very light. So definitely, it's very light.
Yeah, it weighs nothing. I mean, when we got the boxes today, it's like feather light.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that. For some reason, I didn't know. I thought it was like maybe 3 or 4 kilos. And you did tell me it was really light. I think 2 kilos or something.
Well, we had also the jewelry in the box.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And that made the weight.
Jewelry was amazing too. Yeah.
Okay. So Eugenia, you've walked the festival a number of times. Okay, Cannes is Cannes. There is no other festival like it. Describe that. What is it like to be on that red carpet, walk the cassette, go upstairs? Tell us.
Oh, I remember being in France first time. I think I was like 12 or 13. I started modeling, and I just remember Cannes, and I'm like, oh my God, like this is a dream, like the stairs, you just have this like storytelling and the glamorous kind of French cinema, the new wave when it all started, when all this amazing storytellers came up with all these creative ideas and the genres, and just kind of honoring independent filmmakers, somebody who has new ideas outside the box, bring creativity to cinema. So even like being 13, I always dreamt about it. I never knew that it would ever be my reality, to walk that carpet. So it is definitely a magical moment, and I came a number of times to the festival pretty privately, just because I was with my husband. He's a producer, so I never went to events. And then at some point I thought as a model, and then I kind of started acting a lot. I thought it would be nice to support the industry. And 3 years ago I had a film there, which was not part of the competition, but it was in the festival still. So we went with the director, and that's when I started doing my red carpets actually in Cannes, and kind of got hooked up on that. It is very high adrenaline experience, because it takes maybe like an hour at the very least in the car. The whole process is very dramatic. Nobody can come in. There's tons of security. I've never been to a carpet like that in my life. The carpet is huge. It's very intimidating. Every star in the world is there. You walk with like Martin Scorsese and Leo and everybody. Like it is really quite dramatic thing to just make sure that even the press gets your pictures. There's so much involved. You have to be extremely in the moment and making the moves, and you're with all the supermodels, superstars, everybody's there. So it is definitely a moment in itself. And just walk up the stairs, you already feel like, okay, I'm here to to support those auteurs. And I think it's so important, especially in the world we live now, to support independent filmmaking.
Good. I like that a lot. Okay. Any last questions, last thoughts?
I thought, I have to say, Eugenia, it's one thing to want to be on that carpet, but to also be able to move the way you move. It was really, really fantastic, because the cameras are from all sides on you. And we looked at all the Getty image. You looked great in all of them. So big compliment, because we really these are all the things you're nervous about, you know. Can you walk in the dress? Do you feel comfortable? And so you really did a great job in portraying this dress and give it personality. And so we really want to thank you.
Well, talking about movement, I photobombed Coco Rocha, this model who's like famous for moving her picture and she posted it on social media. So it got like extra attention, not intentionally, but I think,
Oh, that's fun.
That's fantastic.
So I guess we're gonna have to wait and see what happens next. Cannes Film Festival, Cannes 24.
I know, I can't believe it. Hopefully we'll not be there just in digital version of ourselves.
Really, we'll all be there together this time physically. All right, that's it for this episode of Before Tacky. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brad.
Thank you.